Somewhere, right now, someone is sitting in a room they didn't know they needed. They found it because of her. Because she showed up. Because she chose this. Not for glory, not for applause, but because something in her knew the world needed compassion, care, and more courage. This is a story about women, a story of every woman who ever sat across from someone in pain and said, I see you, I'm here. Of every woman who carried the weight of other people's storms while quietly weathering her own. She carries the weight of the unspoken word, the language that lives behind clenched teeth and averted eyes. She has learned to read what is never written, the trembling lip, the too loud laugh, the silence that fills an entire room. She is a woman, she is a healer, she is both at once, without apology. Long before they built the clinics, long before the journals were peer-reviewed, she was already there. In the kitchen, in the village square, holding the hand that no one else would hold, saying, you are not broken. You are tired. They told her to be smaller. She became a mountain. They told her feelings were weakness. She turned feelings into medicine. They told her to stay in her lane. She built a new one. Now, she stands in rooms that smell like hope. A notebook on her knee, a lamp on a desk, a certificate on the wall she earned. Between the school runs and the sleepless nights, between the doubts and the deciding, I'm enough for this. I will be enough. She carries both the tenderness of a woman and the tenacity of a warrior. And in that sacred middle ground, she heals the world. To be a woman is to know more than one language, not just the language of words, but the language of care. The look that says someone is drowning, even while they insist they're fine. It is an ancient literacy, written into women across cultures and centuries. To be a woman is to live in the tension between what is expected and what is possible. It is to be strong enough to carry others and brave enough to ask for help. It is to build entire worlds in homes, in hospitals, in classrooms, in communities, and still find time to look inward. And perhaps Most profoundly, to be a woman is to understand that emotion is not fragility. It is connection. It is wisdom. It is the very thing that makes the work of mental health not just a profession, but a calling. This is an ode for the women who have walked into some of the most difficult spaces in human experience and remained. An act of recognition for the women who have listened without flinching, who have shown up not once, but every day.
The 8th of March, a date marked on calendars in nearly every country on earth, International Women's Day. Each year, a theme is chosen, a direction, a compass point for the world to orient toward. In the year of 2026, the theme is Give to Gain. The understanding that when we invest in women, in their education, their well-being, their voices, the whole world grows richer, not in spite of that giving, but because of it. And nowhere is this truth more vivid, more urgent, more alive than in the field of mental health. And now, in the 21st century, we find ourselves in a remarkable moment. Women are not just a majority of mental health practitioners globally. They are shaping the conversation itself, redefining what care looks like, expanding who is allowed to be seen and heard, advocating for communities and individuals who have long gone unserved.
I am Dr. Dasanti Akmimana, consultant psychiatrist attached to Colombo South Teaching Hospital. I have so many responsibilities at the moment. I am the current president of the Sri Lanka College of Psychiatrists and vice president of the Menopause Society of Sri Lanka, immediate past chairman of the Ethics Review Committee of the Sri Lanka, actually Colombo South Teaching Hospital.
I am Dr. Pavitra Godamunne. I am a developmental psychologist currently working at IIT National Center for Children with Disabilities, which is attached to the Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya. So I work as a senior lecturer and the head of the Department of Medical Education at the Faculty of Medicine, University of Kelaniya.
I'm a clinical psychologist by profession. Been in this field for the past, more than a decade. So I've been in the field and working in this profession, and it's been a very rewarding experience for me overall.
I'm Dr. Wijayawardhana, a consultant psychiatrist, currently working at National Institute of Mental Health. So me and mental health. I started in 2008, late 2008, as a very junior doctor working in the mental health field. Of course, down the line, I have developed myself into a consultant psychiatrist.
I'm Dr. Achini Samaranayaka. I'm a consultant psychiatrist and I've been in the mental health field for 10 years, and for 2 of them I have worked as a consultant.
I'm Dr. Mandhike Senaviratna, consultant psychiatrist, currently working in Teaching Hospital Kurunagala. I'm also affiliated to Faculty of Medicine, University of Vijayakumar, currently serving as a senior lecturer.
I'm Dr. Perera. So I'm the National Program Manager for the Gender and Gender-Based Violence Program at Family Health Bureau of Ministry of Health. My basic task as a National Program Manager, we handle all the gender and gender-based violence related response in the Health Ministry across the island.
I'm Preetika Sakalasurya. I'm the Director Legal of the National Child Protection Authority. Legal unit has the responsibility of creating material relevant for law reforms. Child Protection Authority has a mandate to advise government on legal reforms, administrative and other reforms. So legal unit takes a vital role in making recommendations for law reform.
මම ප්‍රියංගිකා රත්නායක ජාතික ළමා ආරක්ෂක අධිකාරියේ සහකාර අධ්‍යක්ෂකවරියක් විදිහට මනෝ සමාජීය අංශයේ රාජකාරී කටයුතු කරනවා. අවුරුදු 20කට වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් මේ වෙනකොට මම ළමා ආරක්ෂාව කියන නැත්නම් child protection කියන ශාස්ත්‍රයේ කටයුතු කරමින් තමයි ඉන්නේ.
මම නීතිවේදී සමාජ විද්‍යාඥ ශානිකා මලල්ගොඩ දැනට ජාතික ළමා ආරක්ෂක අධිකාරියේ අධ්‍යක්ෂ සැලසුම් හා තොරතුරු විදිහට රාජකාරී කරනවා. මූලිකව මට පැවරලා තියෙන රාජකාරිය තමයි ජාතික ළමා ආරක්ෂක අධිකාරියේ විදිහට මුළු සමස්ත රටටම ළමා ආරක්ෂාව තහවුරු කරන්න අවශ්‍ය සැලසුම් සම්පාදනය කිරීම ඒ මූලික වගකීම දරනවා. ඊට අමතරව අනිත් පැත්තෙන් මට තියෙන වගකීමක් තමයි මහා ජනතාවට තොරතුරු ලබා දීමේ වගකීම පැවරෙනවා.
My name is Crystal Honsaker and I'm the Assistant Director at the Treehouse International. I have been here for 3.5 years now.
So I'm Nimetri Gunasekara, a psychologist and also a lecturer in Buddhist counseling. Apart from that, I'm a mother and a wife.
My name is Arundhati Abedpala. I'm a psychologist. I'm also the Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Program Manager at the International Committee of the Red Cross.
My name is Yasodhara Patanjali. I am known for a bunch of things as a painter, a designer, an author, but at the moment maybe the most for being the founder and principal of Sri Lanka's first modern school, independent collective school.
I'm Venuka Beratna. I'm a counseling psychologist and an educator. So I have been working, I think, as a lecturer in psychology for more than 15 years now, and working as a counselor for more than 7 years.
මම සුපේශලා රත්නායක මම මේ වෙනකොට වෘත්තීය මනෝපදේශකවරයෙක් විදිහට ඒ වගේම තමයි විශ්වවිද්‍යාල කිහිපයකම කතිකාචාර්යවරයෙක් විදිහට සේවය කරනවා සමාජ විද්‍යාව සහ මනෝවිද්‍යාව සම්බන්ධයෙන්. ඒ වගේම ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ රාජ නොවන ආයතන සම්බන්ධ විශේෂයෙන්ම LGBTIQ ප්‍රජාව සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය පිළිබඳව සේවාවන් සැපයීම සිදු කරනවා.
මගේ නම ජානකි පුෂ්ප කුමාරේ. මේ ආයතනයේ සේවයට ඇවිල්ලා දැන් වසර 10කට ආසන්න කාලයක්. දැනට මම බාහිර රෝගී අංශයේ අංශ ප්‍රධානී අංශභාර හෙද සොයුරිය විදියට කටයුතු කරනවා.
මම ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය විද්‍යායතනයේ මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය උපකාරක සේවාව කියන්නේ 1926 මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය උපකාරක සේවාවේ ඒකක භාර හෙද නිලධාරිනී WNS ගුණරත්න.
මම සුනේත්‍රා වීරසේකර ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය විද්‍යායතනයේ gender based violence prevention unit එකේ ඉන්චාර්ජ් නර්ස් විදිහට වැඩ කරනවා.
මගේ නම හංසනී පෙරේරා. මම ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය විද්‍යායතනයේ 1926 ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය උපකාරක සේවාවේ පුහුණු හෙද නිලධාරිනියක් විදිහට කටයුතු කරනවා.
I'm Surani Jayasekara. I'm the student counselor of St. Peter's College, Colombo 4. I'm a mother of 2 boys. I've been working in this school since 2024 in the capacity of student counselor.
Reasons to believe that the work of mental health is one of the most important, most human, most necessary things a person can devote their life to. Imagine her morning. The alarm goes off before the rest of the household stirs. There is a moment, just a moment, between the dream and the day where she is simply herself. Not a clinician, not a mother, not a daughter or a manager, just her. And then the day begins. She will hold space for someone else's grief before she has had a chance to name her own. She will offer calm in rooms full of chaos. She will make herself available, fully, professionally, humanely available, for people who are sometimes at the very edge of what they can bear. And then she will go home and she will do it again tomorrow. This is what it means to be a career-oriented woman in mental health. It is not just a job. It is a vocation that lives in the body as much as it lives in the mind. And these women know this truth intimately.
As a woman, I believe that we have that innate capacity to understand others. So the skills like empathy, active listening helps me to understand my clients better and help them and provide them a safe space to express themselves without any judgment.
So I feel that being a woman is actually an advantage because I think it helps especially parents open up, because people generally expect a woman to be more empathetic and understanding. So they share their concerns and concerns about the child or themselves more openly, because regardless of the strides that we have made, mental health is, mental health issues are still stigmatized in this society.
And as a mother of 2 boys, I'm also able to bring in my experiences to my work. I'm able to understand various challenges children face at different situations and how parents feel at these situations and how they react. So these experiences have helped me to connect with my students in a more meaningful and supportive manner.
ඉතින් මම කාන්තාවක් විදිහට ඒගොල්ලෝ ගෙදරට යනකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ දකින්නේ මාව ගොඩක් වෙලාවට සහෝදරයෙක් කෙනෙක්. මිස් මාව බලන්න ගෙදරට ආව නේද කියන එක. කාන්තාවක් විදිහට මට ඒක දැනනවා හරි close වෙනවා කියන.
There is an unsaid expectation that for women, like being females and being women, that we have to be always emotionally available. Like even as a psychologist, like there is this expectation that you got to be strong. And while you manage so many different aspects in life, like say if you don't have a strong family support system or a team support, like for instance, alone I wouldn't have made up to this much, come up to this level, because if it's not for my support from my family, my partner and my the supporting team.
So me being a mother and a wife, also doing my PhD, and the same time I'm doing lecturing as well. It's not easy. That is the truth about it. It's about how you kind of segregate your work and communicating what needs to be done from your husband's end and maybe getting support from your mother. So that's how it works in my life.
My experience in this field has been diverse because I was able to work in underserved and underprivileged areas like Vaunia and Nuwara. While working in these settings, I understood how the mental health is deeply affected and influenced by the factors like the domestic violence, long-standing trauma, socio-economic adversities like poverty and substance use, and limited access to the healthcare services.
මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය ඇති කරන්නෙකුට ඉතා හොඳට ඇහුම්කන් දෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ. අපි කතා කරනවට වඩා එයාට කතා කරන්න අවස්ථාව දෙන්න ඕනේ. අනිත් එක එයාට උදව් අපිට ඒක වළක්වන්න හෝ ප්‍රොමෝට් කරන්න බෑ. එයාට උදව් කරන්න විතරයි පුළුවන් එයාගේ ජීවිතේ ගොඩනගන්න.
ඇත්තටම මට මගේ හිතට කියන්නේ දැනෙච්ච බොහෝ කාරණා තියෙනවා. මම ඔයාට සමහර සිද්ධීන් කියන්න පුළුවන් මට. එක සිද්ධියක් තියෙනවා අවුරුදු 23ක දුවෙක් කැම්පස් දුවෙක් දරුවා කියනවා මිස් මම අවුරුදු 3 ඉඳන් මතකයේ මම මේ කියන්නේ දැන් 23ක් වෙනකම් මම දැන් මේ දිග කතාව අහගෙන ඉන්නවා ෆෝන් එකෙන්. ඉතින් ඒ දරුවත් කියනවා මං අවසානයේ දේව පුතා ඔයා මගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මොනවාද කියලා. ඒතකොට කියනවා ආන්ටි මගේ කතාව අහගෙන ඉන්න කියලා. ඉතින් මම ඒ කතාව අහගෙන හිටියා.
එතකොට එයා හිටියේ තර ගංගක් ආසන්න ප්‍රදේශයක ජීවත් වෙච්ච කාන්තාවක්. එයාට ඕනකම තිබුණේ දරුවත් එක්ක ගඟට පැනලා ජීවිතෙන් නිදහස් වෙන්න. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට කතා කරාට පස්සේ අපිත් එක්ක හොඳ සම්බන්ධතාවයක් ගොඩනගාගෙන ඒකත් එක්කම යාව වැඩි කාලයක් ගන්න නැතුව අපේ රෝහලට එක්කගෙන ඇවිල්ලා ඒ මාර්ගය අපි හදාගෙන රෝහලට ඇතුළත් කරගෙන යාගේ මහත්තයත් එක්කත් කතා කරලා එයාට අපි අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රතිකාරවලට සහ ඒ සහයෝගය අපි දැක්වුවා.
ඒකයි ඊට අමතරව මම මවක් හැටියට බාලවයස්කාර දරුවෝ පීඩාවට පත් වෙලා ඒ ඇත්තන්ගේ දුක අහන්න සිද්ධ වෙන වෙලාවලදී ඇත්තටම මම බොහොම සංවේදී වෙනවා. I become emotional. Sometimes I feel මේ මමද මේක මට වුණා නම් කොහොමද මේ පෙළඹවීමම තමයි මාව ජීවත් කරවන්නේ. මං කරන කටයුතු උපරිම හොඳින් මගේ කණ්ඩායමත් එකට එකතු වෙලා කරන්න මට පෙළඹෙන්නේ, මට ධෛර්යය දෙන්නේ මේ ඇඟීම. මේක මං වුණා නම්, මේක මගේ දරුවෙක් වුණා නම් එහෙම වෙන්න එපා කියන ප්‍රාර්ථනාවමයි මට හැමතිස්සෙම. මේක ළමා ප්‍රයෝජන 100% වළක්වන්න බැරි වෙයි. නමුත් අපිට ඒක අඩු කරන්න, ළමයින් ආරක්ෂාවන සංඛ්‍යාව වැඩි කරන්න, ආරක්ෂාවේ පණිවිඩය හැම ළමයෙක් ළඟටම අරන් යන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඒක තමයි අපේ හපන්කම වෙන්නේ.
Even though we get more than 10,000, 15,000 new registrations with domestic violence, I'm not proud of numbers because those are lives. So these numbers are like, we know that that's another suffering woman. When we get one number counted, that means another woman who is suffering. So we are not proud of numbers, we are not happy with numbers, but we are happy that these numbers have come for support. So my most bad and negative experiences and my most challenging experience is how to get them down. The people who are not coming to us, there's a huge number, because through the evidence we know that nearly 33% of our women in reproductive age are suffering from domestic violence.
My experience as a woman in the field of mental health has been both meaningful and eye-opening. So whether in work, studies or supporting others, I often found that women naturally take on empathetic and actually nurturing roles, which can be a strength in this field because they can understand, they have more empathy towards everybody. So I think that's one positive thing. At the same time, balancing responsibilities while supporting others emotionally can be challenging. Actually, if you think about our personal responsibilities, also matters because I'm a woman. I'm a mother of 3 daughters. They are also women. All 3 are related to medical field. My husband is a busy consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, never at home. So I have a strong responsibility, I think, regarding their emotions. So these experiences have helped me develop resilience, patience, and a deeper understanding of human emotions. Actually, supporting others through difficult moments has been incredibly rewarding and has strengthened my commitment to mental well-being. It's a very good positive thing.
වැඩිපුරම මගේ ජීවිත කාලේ මම වැඩ කරලා තියෙන්නේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ප්‍රජාව සමග. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා ඒ තරුණ කාණ්ඩයන් ඒ වයසේදී ලැබෙන අත්දැකීම් වලට, ප්‍රශ්න වලට, අභියෝග වලට මුහුණ දෙන ටිකක් වෙනස් විදිහට. හේතුව ඒ අයගේ චිත්ත වේග කළමනාකරණය ගැන සමහර වෙලාවට අදහසක් නැහැ. සමහර අවස්ථාවන් වලදී වැරදි තීරණ ගන්න ඉතාම ඉක්මනින් පෙළඹෙනවා. ඒ නිසා මනෝවිද්‍යා උපදේශනය කියලා කියන ශාස්ත්‍රය ඇත්තටම අපි අරමුණු කරගන්නේම අපි ළඟට එන සේවාලාභියෙක්ට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න විසඳුමක් ලබා දීම නෙමෙයි. අපි උත්සාහ කරන්නේ මනෝවිද්‍යා උපදේශනය හරහා අපි ළඟට එන සේවාලාභියාගේ ඔහුට අමතක වෙලා තියෙන ඔහුගේ ශක්්‍යතාවයන්, හැකියාව නැවත මතක් කරමින් ඒ ප්‍රශ්නයට ඔහු තුලින්ම විසඳුමක් ලබා ගන්න උත්සාහ කරන්නේ.
ගොඩාක් අය සමහර ඒ කියන්නේ එයාලගේ ප්‍රශ්න කියා ගන්න බැරුව, කියා ගන්න කෙනෙක් නැතුව, සවන් දෙන්න කෙනෙක් නැතුව ගොඩාක් අසරණ වෙලා අපිට කතා කරන අවස්ථා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ අවස්ථාවලදී අපි ඔවුන්ට උදව් කරලා ඒ ලින්ක් එක හදලා දීලා ඔවුන්ගේ ගැටලුව විසඳගන්න උදව් කිරීම තුලින් අපි ලබන ෆීඩ්බැක් එකක් බොහෝ වෙලාවට. ඉතින් ඒක මත අපේ උද්‍යෝගය තවත් වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒ ෆීඩ්බැක් එක ඇත්තටම හරිම වටිනවා. අපේ උද්‍යෝගය වැඩි වෙලා ඔවුන්ගේ ගැටලුව निराකරණය කරගත්තාම ඒ ලබන සැටිස්ෆැක්ෂන් එක ඇත්තටම අපිට ඒ සැටිස්ෆැක්ෂන් එක ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා. අපේ සේවාව හරහා අපි ඒක අත්දකිනවා.
Well, as a clinician, to deal with diagnosis, illnesses, yes. As a mental health provider, where we look into problems, needs, and assessments, especially the risk assessments. And more than anything, as a person who mostly involved in developing, promoting the mental health aspects. So, and most importantly, why you are doing it? I would say it's because of the passion, but more than that, it's because of the joy you get while working. So as a woman, I live in this moment. I try my best to live in this moment and enjoy myself doing what I am doing.
I think again gender doesn't come into it. I think in terms of supporting others, I've been a life coach for more than a decade, supported hundreds of people by now. It's a very fulfilling journey. It's one where you see people transform within their lives, and I think nowadays with social media and everything, I see a lot of pop psychology popping up, and a lot of it is not true. But I see them getting shared. We are starting to put labels on people. It's like pseudo psychology, right? And that's something to be very aware of and be careful of. But on my coaching journey, it's beautiful to see how people grow into themselves. Sometimes I speak to my clients years later and how they have become the things that they dreamed of before.
Being a working woman at the same time supporting the mental health of others has been incredibly meaningful to me. And what I find most interesting is all these roles are deeply interconnected and it enrich each other. My work gives me deep sense of purpose and meaning. It has given me a great understanding of human behavior, relationships, which has actually strengthened my own relationships and the human who I am today. At the same time, I'm a student, so that gives me a lot of critical reflection of my work experiences. Also, it gives me a platform to learn, to relearn, to unlearn things, which has helped me to grow both personally and professionally.
I would say for the most part in my professional career, I have been accepted and respected as a woman in this profession. There have been minor negative experiences, and so maybe that looks like being in a meeting and the individuals addressing my male colleague and not making eye contact with me, or if I speak up, maybe being interrupted or cut off. And so there's definitely been some experiences that I felt that I've been dismissed because I have been a woman, but those have been very minor. And I think there's a few factors that contribute to that from my personal experience. So in the field of applied behavior analysis, that field is comprised of approximately 85% women. And so I'm predominantly working with other females. The population I work with is caregivers of children with autism, and that is also primarily women. And then I think the other factor is just that mental health and mental health awareness in the US is a bit more evolved than other parts of the world. So that stigma that surrounds mental health is not as great where I grew up and where I did most of my practicing. So I think all of those factors have contributed to my experience as a woman. But after being here in Sri Lanka, our workforce here at the Treehouse is also reflecting the national average. So we have, I think, over 90% of our staff are also women. So through being here, I have worked closely with them and I have learned about their experiences working in mental health, working in this profession. So that has really enlightened my perspective of how their experience may be very different from mine.
කාන්තාවක් විදියට මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය ප්‍රවර්ධනය මෙතැන්ට එන අයට මෙතැන්ට දායකත්වය විශේෂයෙන්ම ඇත්තටම මෙතැන්ට සහභාගීත්වය කොයි විදියටද කියන එක ගත්තොත් මේගොල්ලන් මානසික ගැටලු වලට පත් වෙලා ඉන්න අය ඉන්න තත්ත්වය දැකලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට යම්කිසි උදව්වක් වෙන්න ඕනේ කියන එක ඒ හැඟීම ඇති වෙලා සහ විශේෂයෙන් ඊටත් වඩා විශේෂයෙන්ම සමාජයෙන් මේගොල්ලන් පත් වෙලා ඉන්න අසාධාරණය කියන්නේ අගතිය ඒගොල්ලන්ට පත්වලා අනිත් අය හා සමානව නොසැලකීම යන කාරණාවත් එක්ක තමයි මේකට දායකත්වය දෙන්න විශේෂයෙන්ම ලැබියාවක් කැමැත්තක් ඇති වුණේ.
Sri Lanka's postgraduate curriculum is quite intensive and it has been quite challenging. So the experience has been it has been quite exhausting actually, but it has also been quite rewarding at the end of the day. And now that I'm a consultant, I realize that we have seen so many patients and learned so much from the patients that it has ultimately benefited us a great deal, and I think it benefits the patients as well. The experience working as a doctor has overall been very fulfilling. The day-to-day work, even though it has been quite tiring, it's been very satisfying at the end of the day.
කාන්තාවක් විදිහට මේ ශේෂ්ත්‍රයේ මම විවිධ භූමිකාවන් මට මේ අවශ්‍ය කටයුතු කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන්ම වෘත්තීයමය විදිහට මේ රාජකාරී කටයුතු කරනවා වගේම අපිට මේ කාන්තාවක් විදිහට මවක් විදිහට වෘත්තීයමය වශයෙන්ුත් පෞද්ගලික වශයෙන්ුත් මේ සේවය ලබා දෙනකොට ඒක අභියෝගයක් වගේම ඒ වගේම ඒක බොහොම හොඳ විදිහටත් සුබවාදී විදිහටත් අවස්ථා බොහොමයක් ජීවිතේ ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. සහ අපි ගත්ත එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් අත්දැකීම් ඒ වගේ මේ දැනුම ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Different experiences, different vocabularies for the same truth. That being a woman in this field is both a gift and a responsibility. That the personal and the professional are not separate rooms. They are the same room lit from different angles.
Every contribution in mental health begins with a decision. Not the big, publicized decision that makes it to the headlines, but the small, private one made at a kitchen table, or in the back of a car, or at 2 a.m. when the world is quiet, and something inside you says, this matters, you matter, let's make a change.
අයිබෝවන් සුබ දැසනක් ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය විද්‍යායතනයේ මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය උපකාරක සේවාව. කෙසේද ඔබට සහාය වන්නේ? 1926 ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය උපකාරක සේවාව හරහා සියලුම ලංකාවේ ඕනම කෙනෙක්ට අති විශාල සේවාවක් වෙනවා. මොකද කුමන හෝ ගැටලුවක් නිසා මානසික බිඳවැටීමකින් හෝ මානසික අවපීඩනයකින් හෝ කුමන හෝ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නිසා පීඩාවකින් විඳින කෙනෙක් නම් අපි සූදානමින් සිටිනවා ඔවුන්ට සවන් දීමට. එහෙම සවන් දීලා අපි ඔවුන්ගේ ගැටලුව හඳුනගෙන ඒක විශ්ලේෂණය කරලා අදාළ යොමු කිරීම සිදු කරන්න.
About my contribution to promoting mental health, so my main role is as a clinician, as a consultant. So my current role is mainly as a community-based clinician, where we every week, 2 or 3 days a week, we look at all the patients with mental illness draining from that area.
ඇත්තටම මම මේ නර්සිං ඔෆිස් කෙනෙක් විදිහට ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය විද්‍යායතනයට තමයි මුලින්ම සම්බන්ධ වුණේ. එතකොට ඒකින්ද තමයි මට මේ කටයුතු සඳහා දායක වෙන්න අවස්ථාව හම්බ වුණේ.
As a psychologist, I have been providing counseling, psychotherapy to many people. And as a female, that has been a helpful thing to connect with more other female, because it's more like woman to woman interaction, and it's helpful for them to open up as well. And my other significant area would be connecting Buddhist teaching into psychology and mindfulness trainings.
I contribute as a developmental psychologist to IIT National Center for Children with Disabilities, which is the only center in the country that provides this sort of support. And I'm mainly involved in providing psychometric assessments and psychological interventions to children with neurodevelopmental disabilities and their families, which in turn contributes to early identification and early intervention, which supports their development and mental health outcomes.
I am a board certified behavior analyst, and so that means that I practice within the field of applied behavior analysis, which is ABA. So I have been in this profession since 2002, and the primary focus during that time is working with children with autism and their families. And so that would be in the homes, schools, communities, working on managing challenging behavior, skill development. And so that's been my role for 23 years in various capacities.
Currently serving as a student counselor at a boys' school, I'm actively involved in the mental well-being of my students. I address a wide range of concerns such as academic pressure, behavioral challenges, personal struggles, and peer relationships, just to mention a few. And I work closely with parents and teachers to create an awareness on mental health, emphasizing the importance of empathy, communication, and early intervention.
My main contribution to the field of psychiatry as a psychiatrist, where I was able to work with different patients with different mental health conditions, while supporting them to navigate their journey of their mental health disorders. And also, apart from my clinical work, I was able to participate in training programs where I was able to promote the mental health awareness, and also to work towards to reduce the stigma, and also to break the barriers to access the mental health services. Currently, I'm also working as a senior lecturer in Faculty of Medicine, University of Wijayawardhana.
As a teacher, I teach psychology, and I try my best to put them the concepts of psychology to apply it in everyday life. So they learn how to, balance their mental well-being since they are small. And then, of course, I do training programs for teachers, students, adults regarding different, issues like work-life balance, stress, then the time management, etc.
So my basic targeted subject is gender-based violence and domestic violence. So I believe that any person who is facing gender-based violence and domestic violence will not be there with their better mental health. So that there's a huge battle there. So that we have to support them.
අපයෝජනවලට ගොදුරු වුණු ළමයි කියන්නේ දුක පිරිච්චි ජීවිත පවුල් මේ ඔක්කොම දුක අහන්න සිද්ධ වෙන තැනක තමයි මම සේවය කරන්නේ. ඒ දුක සඳහා සහනයක් දෙන්න. What I can do to address those issues and the satisfaction that I derive out of that made me to stay at Child Protection Authority. This is the 27th year I'm serving at Child Protection Authority. So that satisfaction of doing something, helping someone to ease out the pain that they are suffering. ඒකම තමයි හේතුව මෙතන රැඳිලා ඉන්න ලැබෙන ආත්ම තෘප්තිය සතුට.
For the past 10 years, my main focus has been the families of missing in Sri Lanka. A big part of my work has been supporting the mental health and well-being of these families. These families commonly experience something called ambiguous loss. That is when the loss is not certain. Over the time, I have spent a lot of time listening to their stories, sitting with them in their uncertainty. I have helped them in developing different coping strategies. So my role has been to support that process, create safe spaces where they feel heard, and also build networks so that they don't feel alone.
So as a professional, I would like to help and mainly focused on awareness programs and even offering emotional support within both professional and community settings. That will be my main goal. Actually, I have been involved in guiding individuals to better understand their mental well-being, encouraging open conversations and helping to reduce the stigma surrounding mental health. That is the main issue for people. They don't come for treatment because of that reason. What motivated most in this journey is seeing how many people silently suffer and silently struggle to overcome these issues. I felt it's a strong responsibility for us to give a safe space and even individuals feel heard and understood and supported individually. That will be more helpful. That purpose continues to inspire me every day.
ජාතික මට්ටමෙන් දරුවන්ගේ මානසිකව ඔවුන්ගේ උපරිම යහපත සඳහා නැත්තං මනෝ සමාජයේ යහ පැවැත්ම වෙනුවෙන් විශේෂයෙන්ම අවශ්‍ය නිර්දේශ ලබාදීම් ඒ වගේම අවශ්‍ය මඟ පෙන්වීම් සහ අවශ්‍ය අපි මුද්‍රණ කටයුතු ඒ කියන්නේ මුද්‍රණ කටයුතු කියලා කියන්නේ විශේෂයෙන්ම අවශ්‍ය පොත්පත් ඒ අවශ්‍ය කරුණු කාරණාවලට දායකත්වය ලබා දීලා තියෙනවා විශේෂයෙන්ම අපිට සම්බන්ධ වෙන අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශය ඒ වගේම සෞඛ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශය විශේෂයෙන් මේ වගේ අමාත්‍යාංශات එක්ක ජාතික මට්ටමින් ළමුන්ගේ ආරක්ෂාව රැකවරණය සහ මානසික යහපැවැත්ම වෙනුවෙන් අවශ්‍ය දායකත්වය.
It's more than being, promoting through the bigger platforms. It's been an individualistic journey which made consistent effort with small actions, working with individuals, working with overall community as a whole. So it's been a very, very self-reflective journey, as a whole, as a psychologist.
විශේෂයෙන්ම ළමයින් සහ කාන්තාවන් කියන ශේෂ්ත්‍ර දෙකෙන් මම වැඩ කරනවා සහ වැඩ කරලා තියෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන් මානව හිමිකම් කොමිෂන් සභාවේ මම වැඩ කරනකොටත් ඊට පස්සේ මම දරපු තනතුරු වලදීත් හැම වෙලාවකදීම මම ළමයින් සහ කාන්තාවන් කියන දෙපිරිස එක්කම වැඩ කරනවා.
කාන්තාවකට ගොඩක් දේවල් දැනෙනවා. සහකම්පනය කියන එක, ඒ වගේම තව කෙනෙක් අහගෙන ඉන්න පුළුවන් අපි කියන ඇක්ටිව් ලිස්නින් කියලා. ඒ වගේම යම්කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයකට හොඳම සොලියුෂන් එකක් දෙන්න, විසඳුමක් දෙන්න, ඒ අයට අවසාන ප්‍රතිඵලය මොකක්ද කියන එක ගැන ගොඩක් වෙලාවට නිවැරදි පුරෝකථන කරන්න පුළුවන්.
අපේ මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය සම්බන්ධව අපි ගැටලු කතා කරන්නේ අපි මේකකේදී. එතකොට මානසික පීඩාවකින් පෙළෙන පුද්ගලයෙක් එක්ක තමයි අපි ගනුදෙනු කරන්නේ. ඉතින් එයාලගේ තියෙන දුක සහ එයාලට සමන් දීමේදී යාලත් එක්ක අපි ගොඩනගා ගන්න සම්බන්ධතාවයත් එක්ක අපි ගොඩක් දායකත්වයක් ලබා දෙන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා මේකෙදී. කියන්නේ මේ ගැටලු සාකච්ඡා කරන කෙනෙක් එයාලගේ ගෙවල් වල ඉන්න පුද්ගලයෝ එයාලට තවත් කෙනෙක් එක්ක ගැටලු සාකච්ඡා කරන සමහරලාට කටිය නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
මෙතනට එන කෙනාට විශේෂයෙන්ම බාහිර රෝගියාංශය ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය විද්‍යායතනයේ බාහිර රෝගියාංශය ගත්තොත් මෙතනට විවිධාකාර වූ පුද්ගලයන් එනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ ආවහම ඒගොල්ලන් පත් වෙලා ඉන්න තත්වයට ප්‍රතිකාර කිරීම විතරක් නෙවෙයි මෙතනින් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒගොල්ලන් ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ පීඩනයේ ගැටලු පවතින දේවල් වලට ඒගොල්ලන්ට ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන්න ඒ සඳහා ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා වගේම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ පවුල් වල අයගේ පත් වෙලා ඉන්න පීඩනයක ඔය වගේ ඒගොල්ලන් ඇති වෙලා තියෙන රෝගී තත්ත්වය සහ මානසික ගැටලු පිළිබඳ දැනුවත්භාවයක් ලබා දෙන්න.
As a teacher, as a lecturer, as a team member, I work in different calibers in health promotion. I chose to become a doctor because that was my passion ever since I can remember. Soon after my internship, I was introduced to work with the mental health team at Colombo South Teaching Hospital, where they inspired me into pursuing a career in mental health. So yes, people inspire us to work in especially mental health because mental health is kind of a cornerstone where your physical health, your social relationships, your dreams, in lay terms, your dreams, your aspirations, and it is the drive which helps you to work towards your goals.
Challenges do not ask permission. they arrive uninvited at the worst possible time, in the shape of institutional walls, personal doubts, and systems that were never designed with her in mind. And yet, here they are, every one of them, still standing and still serving, still walking into rooms where pain lives, with nothing but their skill, their humanity, and their unshakable belief that things can be better. That is not resilience. That is revolution. Quiet, daily, unstoppable. No story of strength is told without first telling the story of the storm. And these women have weathered storms that most people have never seen. Not because they cared about the limelight, but because they chose to hold them quietly and keep walking.
But I think the main reason around the stigma about mental health is that people tend to think that mental illness is something that happens to some unfortunate other and not to themselves or to their loved ones. So they tend to believe that mental illness is confined to one population, maybe to the less economically capable population or to the social disadvantaged population, which is not the case, because anybody with a brain can get a mental illness. I can get a mental illness. Anybody can get a mental illness at any point of their lives.
So as a woman from birth itself, I think it's a challenge. But being a woman, I think not only me, every woman faces similar difficulties and challenges because we have the stereotyped roles. I also have the role as a mother, I also have the role as a daughter, I also have a role as the wife. Okay? But having all these roles, I am going through this role as this professional. So that the life and work should be in a balance. So it's a challenging thing for a woman. So as a woman, I think that is the talent, or it should be the capacity.
Because society automatically expects a woman to be more emotionally available, as well as being obviously more empathetic and compassionate. But at the same time, you have to play your leadership role and do those duties as well. So all these roles, balancing all these roles, have sort of highlighted the importance of time management, maintaining your boundaries, as well as your professionalism.
So sometimes that is overwhelming, of course. And also there's a stigma about mental well-being, mental health, and awareness of it is less. And also about the understanding about counseling is also not enough. People always expect that counseling is about advice giving. But I think these challenges made me stronger. It helped me to understand the need of self-care, the need of setting boundaries, and continue committed to the things that I'm doing and do it better.
As a wife, as a mother, the ability to balance both these roles has strengthened my resilience, patience, and time management skills. Today's children in the modern world are dealing with various challenges. Now, these challenges require our careful understanding and guidance. And in my professional role, building trust and confidence among the students is also one of the challenges I have faced.
This is a challenging role. This is a challenging institution because we are trying to change the way people think, people feel about things. So, being a mother, the motherhood was the biggest challenge that I had. If it was career, then that was only studies and career. That's development of myself. being a mother means you have to balance your family, work together and caring for the other children. මගේ දරුවාට හා සමානවම එළියේ ළමයෙකුට ආදරය දෙන්න, එළියේ ළමයෙකුගේ රැකවරණය ලබා දෙන්න. ඒක අභියෝගයක්. ඒක මට විතරක් නෙමෙයි. ළමා ආරක්ෂක අධිකාරියේ නීති අංශයේ ඉන්නේ ඔක්කොම කාන්තාවෝ. ඉතින් ඒ හැමෝටමත් පවුල් පන්සල් තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒවත් ඔක්කොම සමබර කරගෙන නීති අංශයේ තියෙන ලොකුම අභියෝගය.
කාන්තාවක් විදියට අපි මේ වගේ රැකියාවක් කරනකොට ගෙදර පරිසරය සහ රැකියාවේ පරිසරයත් අපි බැලන්ස් කරගෙන ජීවත් වෙන එකත් එක්කම අපිට සමාජයේ පවතින මිත්‍යා මත අපි ඒවටත් මුහුණ දෙන්න ඕන.
I think any challenges would be within ourselves in terms of making sure that we are not doing sort of pop psychology type of stuff, that we're actually doing things that connect with people. But external challenges, I don't think I faced any. I think it's a journey that's slowly unraveling itself, and yeah, I think it's about to get a lot deeper.
Having a ward, psychiatric ward, is given the least priority. In other hospitals also it's the same. But I had to face a lot, and with great trouble, somehow I managed to have this ward with all the facilities. It's a big achievement I received from here. It's a big challenge. It was not with the basket of flowers. We had to face a lot, and now it's done. So I am so happy.
One other thing I would like to share is the language barrier that I have experienced, especially when working in communities in Vavuniya and Nuwara, where I didn't speak their language. So in that case, sometimes when you have to communicate in their language to do sensitive conversations, I always had to rely on a translator, and sometimes it felt limiting, and sometimes I felt frustrating because you were not being able to get all the information that you're supposed to get.
විශේෂයෙන්ම මේක ජාතික මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය විද්‍යායතනයේ බාහිර රෝගී අංශය කෝපයට ප්‍රකෝපකාරී රෝගීන් ඒ වගේම ප්‍රචණ්ඩකාරී රෝගීන් වගේම විවිධාකාර වූ බීතියට පත්වෙච්ච අය සහ මානසික ගැටලු වලින් පීඩා විඳින අය මෙතනට එනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ව පාලනය කරද්දී ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ හැසිරීම් රටා පාලනය කිරීම ඒ වගේම ඒගොල්ලන් පත්වෙච්ච තත්ත්වය කළමනාකරණය කිරීම වගේ දේවල් වල ජීවිතේ ලොකු අභියෝගයක් වුණා.
සමහර ක්ලයන්ට්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා අපිට එකපාරටම එයාලගේ ප්‍රශ්නය ඕපන්ලි කියන්න බයයි. එයාලා හිතනවා එයාලගේ තොරතුරු පිටට යයි, එයාලගේ රහස්‍යභාවයට හානියක් වෙයි, සමාජයෙන් බලපෑමක් එයි. මෙන්න මේ වගේ අභියෝග රසක් අපිට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපි ඒ අවස්ථාවවලදී අපි ෆස්ට් ඉම්ප්‍රෙෂන් එකෙන්ම අපි එයාලට එක්ක හොඳ විශ්වාසදායී රිලේෂන්ෂිප් එකක් ගොඩනගා ගන්නවා අපේ සංවාදය තුලින්.
ළමයි සම්බන්ධයෙන් ආරක්ෂාව, ළමා ආරක්ෂාව ගැන කතා කරනකොට අපි ආයතනයක් විදිහට නැත්නම් අපි නිලධාරියෙක් විදිහට අපි කොයිතරම් උත්සාහ ගත්තත් ඒක ටිකක් අමාරු කාර්යයක්, දුෂ්කර කාර්යයක්. එතකොට ඒක තනියම කරන්න බෑ. මව පියා දෙදෙනටත් තනියම කරන්න බෑ. පාසලේ ගුරුවරයාට විදුහල්පතිට විතරකුත් කරන්න බෑ.
සමහර වෙලාවට අපි කාන්තාවක් ඕහින්දම අපි මොන වෘත්තියක හිටියත් අපිට කොච්චර දැනුම් සම්භාරයක් තිබ්බත් මේ ඒක පිළිගන්න සමහර පිරිමි පක්ෂය අකමැති. එතකොට කොටිම ගෙනන් ඉතින් අපිට මොන හරි කතා කියලා යන අවස්ථා තියෙනවා. මූණටමත් කියනවා, එළිය ගිහිල්ලත් කියනවා. අපිට ඕනේ යාළගෙන් මේවා අහන්න හිම කියලා.
I've heard a lot about the challenges that my staff face, and so that could be anything from family pressure to not be career oriented or to settle down and have their own family. It could be just doing a different job in general, because this job is very difficult. It's not glamorous. There's oftentimes pinching, biting, hair pulling. So a lot of families don't understand why they continue to come to this job. Maybe it's pressure to just work part-time and not have a full-time position. And so I've heard all of these stories from my staff.
කාන්තාවක් වීම හරහා පොදු සමාජයෙන් එන්න පුළුවන් ගැටලු තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට ඇයි ඔබ මේ වැඩේ කරන්නේ? ඇයි ඔබ මේ විශේෂ ක්ෂේත්‍රය තෝරාගත්තේ? ඔබට මේ තරම් ධාරිතාවක් තියෙනවද? සමහරට අපේ ඇතුලේ ධාරිතාව තියෙනවා. තවත් කෙනෙක්ට ප්‍රශ්නයක් එන්න පුළුවන් ඔබට මේ ධාරිතාව තියෙනවද? ඒ වගේම තමයි සමහර අවස්ථාවන් වලදී විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ සංවේදී විශේෂ ක්ෂේත්‍රයක් නිසා අපි කතා කරනකොට ඒ අපි ලබලා තියෙන අත්දැකීම් වලට ඉතාම සමානුපාත අත්දැකීම් අපේ සේවාලාභීන් අතර තියෙනවා. එතකොට අපිට සමහර විට අපි දැවී යාමක් සිද්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට අපේ ප්‍රශ්න ගැටලු නැවත ෆ්ලෑෂ්බැක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේ වගේ අභියෝගයන් ඕනෑම මනෝ විද්‍යා උපදේශකවරයෙක්ට නැත්නම් අධිකාරිවරයෙක්ට ජීවිතේ එන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකට self discipline කියන එක සොයන් විනය කියන එක ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න එක මම හිතනවා කාන්තාවක් විදිහට ඉතාම සැලකිලිමත් වුණු අභියෝගයක් මගේ පුද්ගලික ජීවිතය ඇතුලේ.
මේ වෘත්තික ජීවිතය ඇතුළෙත් අපිට අභියෝග තමයි තියෙන්නේ. මොකද හැම වෙලාවෙම ඊටාම තදබල වගකීම් සහිත රැකියාවක් තමයි අපිට තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට අපි ඒකේ වගකීම් සහගත බව හරි හදවතින් අපි ඒක අරගෙන කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් සමාජයට යහපතක් නම් කරන්න පුළුවන්කම නැහැ.
Playing different roles are helping us also to see things in different perspective, no? When you're a mother especially, you understand another mother's struggles, and then we would be able to kind of share what can be done in a different way, more than psychological theories, I would say. In practical life, being Sri Lankans, how things work are not in the same way like Western psychological theories, right? So then it's more like a social support. It's more like your experience, sharing other people's experiences, and then helping other people, and also getting other people's opinion on what to do on a difficult situation. If that helps, that would be helpful for me as well, no?
Being a woman has been an incredible opportunity for me. I genuinely value being a woman in this field. It has actually shaped me to build more meaningful relationships, connect with people more easily. Of course, empathy is not limited to any one gender. But in my experience, being a woman has helped me to connect to people more meaningfully.
There is this expectation, it's socially conditioned in a way, that for us to be, always consistently emotionally available, to be that, to have that empathetic responding. And that's a skill, that's also like an attitude and skill that we develop. At the same time, when it comes to challenges in the field, like sometimes being open about certain concepts, and also there's this stigma attached to mental health. Sometimes it can kind of get in the way. So when we provide our opinions as as a group of individuals who are so we may look at things from a more psychological, social and perspective. So it may sometimes have a tendency to be misunderstood, because when we are looking at the psychology of a person, it doesn't matter.
One of the biggest challenges would be stigma and discrimination. So especially the mental health field, the people working are kind of like discriminated among our society, even up to date. So that is a huge challenge. So whenever you work for, let's say, resources, work for time, will be kind of like little disadvantage compared to other fields. So discrimination is something we need to work on. So that's where the challenge comes. Rather than treating the illnesses, health promotion and raising awareness becomes a cornerstone. So shifting our ways of approach is another challenge we need to work on, especially if you are looking to well-being of another person or else make someone better. The third challenge would be what you want and where you want to end up. So there is always clashes among personalities, clashes among ourselves. So mental health is all about teamwork. It's a multidisciplinary team. So respect each other. Yes, you value your aspirations and you have to respect another person's aspirations as well. So with respect, with mutual understanding, it's all about striving hard for a better future.
Motivation and contribution. Two words that in the hearts of these women is not a platitude, but a call to arms. They sound like vows, like commitments made to people who may never know their names, but whose lives have been quietly and profoundly changed because these women said yes.
There is a word in many African philosophies, Ubuntu. I am because we are. It is the idea that personhood is not a solo performance. It is a collective project that we become more fully human by recognizing the humanity in each other. In the world of mental health, this word could be the foundation of everything. Because what is a counselor if not someone who says, I see your humanity even on the days you cannot? What is a researcher if not someone who says, I will prove that your struggle is real and that it deserves a solution? What is an educator if not someone who says, I will train the next generation to care for you better than I was able to? This is give to gain in its purest form, not the transaction of the marketplace, but the covenant of the community. When we give fully to the work of mental health, we do not lose ourselves, we find ourselves. We find each other. The women featured today do not work for applause. They chose it because something in them recognized a need so vast, so urgent, and so neglected that doing anything else would have been a kind of dishonesty. And in giving, in all the ways they have given to strangers and students and communities and systems, they have gained something no title can confer. They have become indispensable, not because anyone made them so, but because they showed up again and again with everything they had. To the women who opened their stories to this documentary, thank you. Not for the credential or the title, but for the truth, for being willing to be seen not just as professionals, but as people. To every woman in mental health who hasn't sat in front of a camera, the one who works in the understaffed clinic, the one who runs a support group from her living room, the one who is still in training and doubting herself at midnight, this documentary is also for you. You are not invisible. You are not unnoticed. And what you give every day, in every room, in every session, in every word, matters more than you may ever know.